Plaintiff April Smith was married to the defendant for 10 years, and she says it was like a soap opera. April claims the defendant wanted a Barbie doll for a wife who acted and dressed a certain way. And they ended up divorcing after the defendant brought another girlfriend home. April's suing for a dental bill and emotional distress. Defendant James Novella says the reason he and April divorced is because April is angry and unstable. James says the dental bill April is suing for is for their son, who is 21 years old, and since he's already paid for a portion of the bill, he refuses to pay anything else.
Start with you.
I was married to James Novella for 10 years, and Novella, by the way, his last name means soap opera. It was like a soap opera.
That's right, it does.
He wanted to be married
Spanish,
to
is it?
Yes, Mexican, American. He wanted to be married to a Barbie doll with no fillings. He wanted me to act a certain way, dress a certain way, be a certain way, always concerned about my weight. After our second son's birth, he was disappointed. He didn't want to pick me up at the hospital. He wanted a daughter. It was a son. We've been through this.
How did
no
he
big
express
deal.
his disappointment?
He said, have your sisters pick you up. It's no big deal. We've been through this.
He said that?
Yeah, have your sisters do it. Eventually he did. He was very late to pick me up.
Sir, let me hear from you on this particular issue. Is that true?
No, sir, it's not true. We've been divorced 20 years. So
Whatever it was, did it happen ever?
No, it did not happen. I didn't need to go pick her up because I was there. So
Go ahead, ma'am. What else you want me to do?
So he eventually picked me up, and he went through a midlife crisis. He was always picking on me. Even when I was pregnant, are you going to lose weight? Are you sure? Are you gaining too much weight?
You were a lot heavier than you are now?
No, I'm the same as I was in high school, but I got too skinny.
He wanted you to lose the weight from the size that you are now.
I was like 30 pounds thinner after the second child. Than you are now? Because I was depressed, I got anorexic. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was really, had it complex, you know?
All right.
I had a breast lump. Like a year later, they said, you could have cancer. We have to, check it out, operate. He goes, I told him, I was really sad. And he's like, get a boob job. If they're going to cut in there, make it worthwhile, get a boob job. I'm like, I don't want a boob job, and I could have terminal cancer, James. He said, I don't care. If they're going to cut in there, get a boob job. I did not.
Ma'am, you're saying some pretty ridiculous stuff. Go ahead.
Did.
What else you want me to know, ma'am?
I didn't get a boob job. I'm happy with the way God made me. It was
Why did you all end up
benign.
divorcing?
He brought a girlfriend back from Utah. He was working in Utah in construction. He brought an archaeologist back.
Okay. Do you want to say anything before we get to up to date? You want to say anything about what happened
that we
back then?
were. It took 3 years to go through the divorce. No.
Okay. Why did you all divorce? She says because you brought a girlfriend.
No, she's just unstable, just anger person.
Okay, good enough. He doesn't really want to get into it. Let's get to the dental bill. $2,445 for a dental bill and emotional stress. How does he owe you for that?
The dental bill was $1,745. He said he would pay the entire cost of the dental bill. He paid $800 of it already. So
you're not
he owes a
asking for
reminder
that.
on
Hold
that part.
on, ma'am. Slow down. How much do you want today for the dental bill?
$945.
All right. How does he owe you for that?
Well, our son had went to New Zealand for 6 months. He was in pain because it already was diagnosed. It got worse. He came back. James said, I don't have the cash, but I will pay for it. So I said, I'll put on my credit cards and you can make payments. Over a year, he paid me like $300. And then once I threatened to sue, he paid another $400. So he paid a total of $800.
Sure.
The boy in question is 21 years old. So he
was he 21 at the time?
Yeah, he's 21. Well, he was almost 21. I told her that I'd help anyways, and I said I'd pay half. I never saw a bill, and I thought the full amount was $8 because that's what he said. I never talked to her.
You have the bill today?
Yes.
All right, let's see it. And your defense is you never saw a bill?
I never saw a bill, but I was told I'd pay half.
All right, $1,745, and half of that is what?
$872.50.
$872.
Yes.
Is half.
Yes.
And you've paid how much?
$800.
Is that true, ma'am?
Your Honor, he told me he would pay the entire cost.
I never talked to her. I never saw the bill. I talked
Did
to my...
you agree to pay all of it?
No.
Ma'am, do you
No,
have
he
any
agreed
evidence?
to pay
Do you
the
have
whole
any
thing.
evidence that he did?
I didn't get it in writing.
Okay.
He's
'cause
lying again.
The son is
This
21 in
typical.
question. Was he working?
He went to New Zealand working at missionary. He returned to get needed the
Was he
dental work
working
done. No, he was not working.
For money?
He was not employed.
He
no.
was volunteering in New
Right.
Zealand?
Yes.
Okay, and you were caring for him, providing all his financial needs?
The church was until he returned, and then he needed to support himself because,
And how did he?
well, he got a job.
So why couldn't he pay at least some portion?
Because James already said he would pay for it. It was on my credit
He
card.
denies that. Nonetheless, emotional distress, how does he owe you for that?
We had a big house. He sold everything we
How
had.
long ago?
Probably the 20 years that we've been
All
divorced.
right. You can only sue pursuant to the order of the divorce. I'm going to conclude, ma'am, that it's only half, as he has admitted. You don't have any evidence, and he says that's all he committed to. Quite frankly, he didn't have to commit to anything unless the judge said take care of his medical expenses up through adulthood. Did the judge say that?
No.
All right, so he didn't have to do anything. It's good that he did.
Our son had went through a rehab. He went to the
rehab
church
for what?
for drugs and
For what?
drugs.
I wouldn't pay a dime. Man. $72 I'm going to grant you, ma'am, and that is the difference between what he has paid and the half that he agreed to pay. I'm going to dismiss your emotional distress for what he did 20 years ago. Have a good day.
I'm very disappointed in you, but you always lie to me, James. You always expect too much of me, and you expect me and everybody to believe your lies.
There's really nothing to say. I mean, that's what the outcome I thought was going to be.